Okay, so I was just having a walk. I'm kind of halfway through my favorite path here. And I was just kind of talking to myself. And then I thought, you know what? This is stuff I need to share with other people because I'm experiencing something that probably a lot of people want to experience, but they don't really pause and think about it long enough to be aware of it. So I'm going to share it. So I'll just share I am 55 years old. And I'd say for the last 50 years, literally since I was about 5, I have been living solely for other people and not myself. I'm not saying that in a selfish way. I'm saying that I've been wearing roles and living life with those roles on, or mask. You could say mask. I've had the daughter mask on. I've had the sister mask on. I've had the wife mask on, and I've had the mother mask on, and I've had the business owner mask on. And really within the last month, I've finally realized I've taken all those masks off and lived fully in myself for the last month, and I've never felt so much peace in my life. So I want to encourage anyone that comes across this video that you're not being selfish when you choose to do things in your day-to-day that brings joy to your heart. Follow your heart. So many people, don't listen to your heart. It'll just get broken. No, yeah, it'll get broken wide open. And then all of a sudden you realize life is exciting. For the first time, I'm enjoying just the simple things like this walk, listening to the birds. My coffee. I love coffee. Oh my gosh, do I love coffee. And I usually have my cup in the morning. And then my afternoon cup ever so often. I had one today. And you know what else I do to my coffee and my water? I whisper to it. I speak positive affirmations and little sayings to it before I drink it, because the things we take into our body affect us at a cellular level, and the energy we put into it. Even cooking, when you put good energy into your cooking, it actually tastes better. And that's for anybody. Like if you go to a restaurant, you can test this theory. If you go to a restaurant and it's one of your tried and true, and it's consistently good, but then you happen to go and it's not tasting so great, you could probably go by your intuition and say, the chef's not having a good day, or something's up. So just little things to think about, that we are energy, and what we put behind things affects them. All of it. The words you speak, the energy you put behind the words, so the tone that you use will impact your words and the effect that they have on others. And I'll be honest, I've gone through some pretty tough times lately with financial strains that are pretty extreme, relationship strains that are pretty extreme, and I've had my share of tears and my share of fears. But the thing I'm doing differently is I'm allowing those without judgment. I'm feeling them without judgment. And I'm noticing that things pass through me a lot quicker. I don't have the anxiety, gripping to me like it used to. I've been estranged from a few family members that are very close to my heart. And I realize, I can't force people through their process. I can't sit there and say, well, I need you to behave this way because it makes me more comfortable, when I'm actually letting go, doing things to keep people comfortable. So I've simply been enjoying life. I've been coloring. I've been listening to other people that are, think a little bit like me, but not all. Let's expand. Let's be expansive, right? Let's increase our perception and our perspectives in life. And the one thing we can gain from each other is just that, because we all experience the world differently. And how I experience it may shed some light for someone else going through a situation. It's like, you know what? That helped me. One of the things that I've promised myself lately is that I will no longer make decisions based on other people's fears. So if someone close to me is afraid of something, I'm not going to simply make a decision to keep their fear comfortable. I'm going to listen to my heart, and I'm going to listen to my intuition, and I'm going to follow the guidance that I receive from my spirit guides and ancestors. Because that's the other thing, when we fully learn to live life in wholeness, which is embracing all parts of ourselves, the shadow and the light, and not being ashamed or judgmental of any of them, but letting them be heard and seen, that actually does things for our ancestral line that we don't see. But it gives freedom not only to you, but to your family line. And I can feel it. I can really feel it. And the synchronicities, I love seeing synchronicities. My mom was born in 1938. And so anytime, as was my dad, but anytime I see the number 38, I instantly think of my mom. And so I'll laugh. She's on the other side of the veil, as is my dad. And so now, whatever is going on, it's almost like they're saying, it's going to be okay. We're right here with you. Anytime I see 38, that's just one symbol I have for them. And it's comforting. It makes me laugh. That's the other thing. Whenever I do something that used to frustrate me, now I just laugh. Like if I drop something, or if I'm trying to unlatch something and it's not cooperating. Used to, I'd get so frustrated. Now I just laugh. And you know what happens? It resolves itself pretty quick. And it really is about being present and just enjoying each moment and allowing life to be what it is without judgment and attachment, and just feeling whatever feeling it is that any instance brings up. Like I'm pulling cobwebs away from my face as I walk. It's crazy how quick they make them. I've made one lap and I'm walking through areas that they weren't there the first time around, but now they are. And that's another example. Usually when someone walks into a cobweb, they're flailing their arms around and checking their body for a spider, and I'm just casually walking and laughing it off. It makes life a little more enjoyable, a lot more enjoyable, even through the difficult times. Things don't seem so difficult. So yeah, I just thought I'd share. This is one of my favorite spots. Look how pretty when the sun's peeking through. We've had quite a bit of drought over the last couple of years, so this used to be a section of a pond full of water, but now it's not so full. Now it's full of grasses, but look how pretty. I mean, so pretty. So even nature shifts. Used to, that grass wasn't there. It wasn't like that. But now it is. It just is. And it's beautiful in its own right. I mean, just look at that. It's beautiful. Every day we're a little different based on our prior day experience. I mean, it's so pretty. You can hear the birds. We've got deer and all of the opossums and armadillos and coyotes and bobcats. I came out here one night. It was dark. And I heard the scariest screeching noises, and I was like, what the heck is that? Okay, yeah, I know I'm not staying out here. My husband and I love Naked and Afraid, and all I could think of is, oh my God, I can't imagine. I'm in my own backyard with clothes on. And that sound was so scary. Come to find out it was a bobcat. When they feel someone in their area, they'll speak these really creepy, scary, screeching sounds. Guess what? They work. I went hightailing it inside. But I was laughing, and it got my adrenaline up, and it was kind of fun. But I kept going back to the 40 days of naked and afraid. Heck no, man. Because, when we watch stuff like that, we're like, oh yeah, I could do that. I could totally do that. I gained a lot of respect for the people that do that. Just from that one night alone. I'll tease my husband. I'll be like, hey, let's practice naked and afraid. Because we actually could do that out here, and it would be legit. We would have the mosquito bites and the spiders and the snakes, and we have scorpions here. And just all the things, the wild hogs. We could totally practice here. And he's always just like, there is no way. Just thinking about it's fun. You can imagine it. Science has proven that our body doesn't always know the difference between things we've actually experienced and things we think about experiencing. Just things to think about. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but one of those biting flies is buzzing around my head. Usually I'll wear a hat, and that helps. That keeps them away, but today I wasn't thinking about it, and I just started walking, and then I was a good ways around, and I was like, oh, dang it, I forgot my hat. But it's only bothered me that one little time. So I highly recommend just getting out in nature. Things come to you. Like these thoughts just came to me. I thought, you know what? Why not record them and share them? I'm blessed to have this property that I can walk, and we've got a path that's a mile around. There's nature everywhere. Even if you live in the city, you can find a spot to get around some trees, walk barefoot. Every once in a while I'll take my shoes off through here and walk barefoot, but it's pretty rough. And we've finally had some rain, so it's pretty muddy too. And to update LaLa Land, the space in my home, I've done a few things here and there, but I'm still just taking my time. Something that is not like me in the past, and it's really allowing me to enjoy the space and the things I do take action on. have a little bit more stick with meaning to it. I still don't have many things on my wall. Still trying to decide what I want to include. You know, we tend to rush making decisions, and let's just get her done. I'm stepping away from that mentality for the most part. So anyway, thanks for walking with me if you're still here. And as I gradually step through life, slowly, little by little, the magic of LaLa Land is becoming. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.